vegetarianism. I have a lot of clients that have called me and visited with me, and they've decided that they want to know more about what it means to be a vegetarian. They're thinking that they want to be a vegetarian. Oftentimes it's for environmental reasons, which is perfectly fine, or for ethical reasons. They just can't bring themselves to eat an animal. And then oftentimes it's because of their diet. Maybe they want to lose some weight, or they just want to change their diet because they believe being a vegetarian is a healthier way to eat. Back in the day, years ago, there was just one. You were a vegetarian. It just simply meant that you did not eat meat, you did not eat poultry, and you did not eat fish. And the reason why meat is separated from poultry and fish is, when I say meat, it means from a mammal. So vegetarians will separate meat, even though, of course, there's fish meat, and of course, there's meat from a bird, there's meat from poultry. So that was how people would describe themselves as a vegetarian. That also means that they would eat eggs and they would eat dairy products. Now there's a couple more variants. In fact, there's 50, but I'm only going to go over just a few more. So there's one called lactose vegetarian, and same as a vegetarian, no meat at all. So no meat, no poultry, no fish, but they will not eat eggs. So they're not going to eat eggs, but they will have milk and dairy products. Interesting. Then there's the next one would be an ovo vegetarian, which means that there is no dairy at all, but they will have eggs, even though it's a product, from a bird, but they will eat the egg because they don't believe that it's hurting in any way the actual animal. You're not killing the animal. Like chickens lay one egg a day. So they don't see any harm in eating an egg, and they see the benefits of eating an egg. Next would be pollo vegetarian. Now, what's interesting about that is pollo is Spanish for chicken. And so they will be a vegetarian, but they will introduce chicken in their diet. And the eggs and dairy are optional. If you're a true pollo vegetarian, you actually wouldn't have any dairy or any eggs, but some of them do. It's kind of a question mark. Some of them will, introduce some eggs and some dairy on occasion, but they're still trying to stick with a primarily diet of fruits and vegetables and grains and legumes, and getting their nutrition benefits that way, but they will have chicken, basically. Then we have pescatarian, and that's a category I'd probably put myself in. And it's very much the same as the pollo vegetarian, where instead of chicken, we will eat fish. And occasionally, or it's in question, some pescatarians will have dairy products and will have eggs. So that would be a pescatarian. So it's a vegetarian who will eat fish. And they just feel that they're going to get their omegas and their B12 and certain nutrients that they're not going to get by just being strictly a vegetarian. So that's just what they believe. It's not necessarily true, because you do have to, as a vegetarian, put certain groups of foods together, fruits and vegetables and legumes, to make a complete protein. But some people aren't willing to do that on a daily basis because it takes a lot of planning. And so they'll introduce a fish to get their omegas. And then there is vegan. Now, a vegan, there's nothing. There's no meat. There's no poultry. There's no fish. There's no dairy. There's no eggs. In fact, there is no honey. Anything that is a product of an animal is out. And vegans typically, it's more of a lifestyle. It's more of a lifestyle, so it includes their clothes. They won't even wear anything that came from an animal, any kind of animal skin. I have a very good friend who is a vegan, and I really like her because she is teaches people how to baby step to become a vegan. In other words, she didn't throw out every single jacket and every single pair of shoes and every single handbag that was ever made of leather, or every single piece of furniture in her home. What she does is she just eliminates things through attrition. In other words, if something wears out, she replaces it with a non, animal skin item. And so it is it's one of the strictest of under the heading of vegetarian. And it takes a lot of dedication to become a vegan. And I admire people that are vegans. Lastly, and this probably truly is my category, and it's called a flexitarian. And I'm not sure if flexitarian is just supposed to be funny, because it's somebody that wants to primarily eat plant-based foods, yet they will eat dairy. They will eat eggs, and they will eat meat, and they will eat chicken, and they will eat any kind of poultry, and they will eat fish. But they just try to limit it down to maybe once or twice a week. And sometimes that's what I recommend to my clients, to start out being a flexitarian. I read one article that I think they were making fun of flexitarians. It wasn't very nice. And it said that a flexitarian basically is not a vegetarian at all. Because if a pizza is presented in front of them, they will just simply eat it because they want to. So, and that's not necessarily the case. Why would somebody want to go vegan just simply for health reasons? I think it's an excellent choice. I personally am not a vegetarian. I am not a vegan. I'm probably more of a flexitarian, the good flexitarian. But if somebody wants to live that lifestyle, it's my job to show them how to do it with the best nutritional value. And I admire anyone that wants to do it for environmental reasons, even if they want to lose a little bit of weight, or for ethical reasons. Anyway, that is just the top 6. I think I went over 6. There's 50 variants. So there's a whole lot of variants of vegetarianism. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I'm going to do another episode where we get a little more in depth of how actually to start the process. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining me. And until next time, have a wonderful rest of your day.